just unbelievable right here. Trees are snapping in front of us, palm trees are down, roads are impassable right now. We are in the eye of Perry, Florida. Hopefully protected here. Hopefully. Man, we thought the eye shifted a little bit to the east of us, so now we're still in the eye wall here. Oh, we're in a little calm. So all these trees just popped right in front of us just a second ago. Oh, still coming. Here's some more. Here comes another round. Maybe. Oh yeah, there's the eye. Look, there's the eye. The eye. We're in the eye. There it is. First time ever. The eye of Idalia, right there. You can see daylight. Winds are shifting. Oh man! Coming in hard. Look at those clouds. You can start to see the clouds coming in. Look at that. Things are quieting a little bit. Sooner or later, we're going to be in a calm. All right, good morning. We're back home, everybody. Looking at that first time I see my live video here. It was I guess it came out pretty good. There was a little bit of pixelation. It's never easy streaming live in the middle of a hurricane, that's for sure. Somehow we did it, though. We were in the eye wall there in Perry, Florida. It was incredible. We're going to talk about that here in a second. I was changing the date on our live. We only missed one day. It's like the most wildest 24 hours I think I've ever had, driving, seeing what we saw, doing what we did, and now we're back home. It was a whirlwind for sure. Let me close this out of here and get things ready to talk about the tropics. So we did go live. We're going to talk about that. Good morning, everybody. Hunter was the most excited one today to come up here. He was giving me that look, like, look how proud he is too. He's like, I'm the chosen one. He's so proud. He's like, yes. What's up, Miss Shelley? Props to Shelley being there for us on the lives. It's a long 24 hours. So thank you, everybody, for coming along. Hopefully everybody did okay. I know we got a lot of damage in the north part of the state. We, of course, rode it out in Perry. North of there, lots of damages. Lot of frustration on my end. I'll get into that here in a little bit, but I want to talk about it all. Poor little Jose. What's up, Katie Haley? What's up, Colleen? Yeah, he grunts a lot. I just woke him up. He was so bad, though, the first year. I thought we were going to have to get that surgery when his nose, but he's okay. I think he's okay. He's going to be okay. His ammonia was bad last year. But I'm a little dragging today. I need to take a nap. Boy, I'm tired. It was a lot of driving. Somebody mentioned Richard Reamer. Yeah, we had a lot of great footage. I'm so fortunate. We had news down in Miami, ABC this morning, Good Morning America. Nice interview on News Nation. CNN had me on twice. Hey, I spread it around, man. If somebody wants me on, I'm giving it to them. I'm all about weather. I could care less about anything else, man. I love everybody. And I might not have when I was younger. I was pretty dumb. We all were. We all evolve into better people. So, this is Little Hunter, by the way. So, yeah, it was an amazing storm. I feel bad for the folks up north. I don't think that we got the coverage that area needed, maybe because of the population. I really do. I think I kind of understand the news. They want to go where there's a big market and people can relate. And I can understand that. I just got the sense the coverage for where I was at and northward with the damages just isn't there, and especially these little cities that got hit with the storm surge. So let's talk about that storm surge, by the way. I didn't miss anything because I had the news, but man, our Tampa Bay area, who was calling it? Who was trying to tell everybody? I got to the point where I thought that maybe I need to stop because I was the only one talking about storm surge. I'm serious. I really got to the point where I was like, I'm the only, and I'm like, maybe I'm wrong. Everything I saw was leading up to this storm surge, and lo and behold, man, I saw today bridges were underwater and water rescues and Tarpon and Palm Harbor and all across Pinellas County and everything we talked about. I mean, I was on the Drew Garabo show twice, and we talked about that, and I said it was going to be worse than Ada, and it was. So I hate that it was right, but man, the models too. And then going back to the storm, everybody always gives, this storm especially, everybody downgraded it at the beginning, like, it's not going to be anything. Well, there was models. Remember the one day when I shared the thoughts, and I'm like, I'm not going to really go out publicly and say that there's a chance this could be more until we start seeing the models support it. It'd be irresponsible. But man, the next 6 hours, the models supported it. The H-Wharf, H-Mon, HW, all these high-resolution models, the new HAFS, AB, they were all showing exactly what we saw. It was strong, let me tell you. I've been in 3 major hurricanes, and this one had the most burst of convection I think I've ever felt. It was like you get this calm, then all of a sudden a massive, poof! And these trees up there were like 2 foot in diameter, just snapping like toothpicks. I mean, I'm not being dramatic. Trust me, I was watching a lot of weather on the way up there. I have a TV app in my truck. I wasn't watching, I was listening. Some do dramatize things, and I could see where some get tired of it because they really push things sometimes to the point of exhaustion, But I will tell you, trees snapping like I've never seen. I mean, these are huge trees. And then when we left to start driving around, they were everywhere. Trees down everywhere, power lines down everywhere, every side street, trees on houses, trees in roads. So that area around Perry, northeast, has a lot of recovery. The only thing that didn't live up to expectations as far as power outages is because it hit a lot of rural areas. If it made a little teeny shift towards Tallahassee or a little teeny shift towards, Gainesville, Jacksonville, that area, we would have had a lot more power outages. So just, the path that it took didn't affect the amount of people. And I think the coverage was down a little bit because of that, But, Cedar Key, all right, Steinhatchee. So we were there before the storm. And, man, we tried to get back. That area was underwater, like a mile from the Gulf. I got those videos with that stop sign and my truck. That was a mile away from where we were in that morning. talking to residents. There was, water up to their home, roofs, and I ran into Brandon Clement there, WX Chasen, and we couldn't believe it. So then I decided, all right, let's go down to, who just mentioned Jonathan? I just mentioned your name. I don't think he's watching. Jonathan, he was doing an interview with Brandon. So then I said, all right, I'm going to go, we'll drive down to Cedar Key, because that was where Reed Timmer was and Jim Cantori. Well, oh my God. So we were going out on that causeway, debris everywhere, getting to the island, news trucks everywhere, and there was no way they were letting us on that island. Well, when I did go up there and turn around, there was debris everywhere. It reminded me a lot of Ian when we first went out there to Pine Island. All the debris everywhere, like washed up. So they definitely had that strong storm surge, and there was a lot of damages. So then we said, okay, let's go south. So then we went to Ingalls, because we heard there was a lot of water rescues going on. I got some friends that work at the EOC, and so then we said, all right, let's go down there. Then we went to Yankeetown. Forget about it. Everything's blocked off. Cops everywhere. There's no way we're getting through. The water was already coming up. And what was happening was this. So high tide was obviously, during the storm hours, let's say, around midday yesterday, we still had a really strong winds from the southwest. The way that the tropical system turns, that wind was still blowing in at that perfect angle to blow water into the Florida West Coast and blow the water into the Big Bend area. So when we had low tide yesterday, early in the morning, there was not a low tide. The waters never receded. So then comes early afternoon, we have another high tide. So then the waters even came up more, and that's what was happening. This delayed surge, I don't think anybody's talking about, snuck up on everybody, and it was starting to become sunshine outside, and all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, it's like somebody put a video on TikTok, how high is the water rising, and that ain't no joke. That was a Johnny Cash song, and it kept rising. And it's serious. So we couldn't go to Yankeetown. So then we got our friends at Crystal River. So we text our cops, which we met the night before, and they're like, oh my God, it's terrible. They were sending us pictures of downtown. It looked like the Gulf of Mexico. We get to 19 way before they diverted us. Highway Patrol blocking US 19. We had to go towards Dunellen. So then we picked a bunch of back roads. We got to like the major outskirts of Crystal River, and there were cops blocking the roads. And there was water rising from Crystal River a mile and a half from the Gulf of Mexico. Residents walking around just in shock, and everybody's like, oh my God, we lived here our whole life. We've never seen nothing like this, people getting airboat rescued. I talked to a lady that was in hysterics because she was telling me how her Key West doors, the water was just flooding in, and she had to grab some stuff and get out of the house. And she said a bunch of homes in Crystal River were underwater. Somebody was telling me almost the whole city. So where we were the night before, they were telling us that was evacuation A, a little bit past 19, in that area downtown usually floods, and sometimes it gets on the other side of 19. Well, this flood came a mile past 19, and it was still rising about 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and there was airboats running in. You could hear Pine Island, not Pine Island, Cedar Key. Well, it reminded me of Pine Island. There was helicopters flying around. There was kind of chaos because the water was still rising. So it was really shocking to me to see that. And then, of course, the insensitive comments, and it just pisses me off because you get the people that, say, oh, it looks like 2 inches. You're way to hype, Mike. I'm like, give me a freaking break, man. I mean, yeah, that's 2 inches where we were because they weren't letting us drive into the water. You got people telling me stories, and their houses are flooded. People, I get so tired. If it doesn't affect somebody, then it was a bust storm, and that's a bad. Just because it didn't affect you doesn't mean it doesn't affect somebody. And we're in this time frame that it was, what a bust. Well, it wasn't a bust. Maybe there wasn't a million people impacted because it hit a non-populated area, but that could be you. Pine Island, man, or because I keep thinking of Pine Island because that's the same thing. Hearing these stories, but Perry, so much damage up there, so many houses damaged, stories. So, it wasn't as many people as other storms, but man, I saw it. I talked to people. People were shocked. They've lost stuff. I mean, it's not fun. And then we try to get to Homosassa, the same thing. Homosassa Springs, same thing. So what about that surge? I mean, all the way up and down. I saw my buddy Matt Devitt from Wink News was showing parts of the area down there that had more flooding from Idalia than they did during Ian. I mean, it was that King Moon flow, the winds, everything we saw with Ada pushed that water in relentlessly, and it was something else. So, no, I'm not bashing anybody. I understand, but when they start bashing me, it pisses me off because, I'm not an agenda-driven news, whatever you want to call me, at all. Trust me. I just couldn't believe that the night before, a mile and a half is where we were standing, and all that water. And I looked at the map. I'm looking at the map, and I'm like, where's this water coming from? So I tasted it. It was salt water. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, I couldn't imagine that where we were, the surge came in that far. And it's not 10 foot tall. It doesn't need to be. It only needs to be an inch to ruin your house or floors and walls and drywall. That's the other comment. Oh, it's a couple inches. Well, I mean, come on. I mean, geez, I'm just telling you. Sometimes it's not even worth it. Oh, I try hard to read comments, and then I start seeing that, and I'm like, whatever. So, anyway, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. There's still effects in the Carolinas right now. We'll talk about that. As a matter of fact, I got the radar up. I didn't want to leave them out. I tried so hard to keep coverage, this storm versus other storms. I get wrapped up in storm chasing, but I'm satisfied reporting. I was trying to report every 30 minutes. That was my goal. In between storm chasing, I'm going to report every 30 minutes. So I made sure to stop, pull over, do the latest. That way, I don't get wrapped up in the storm. And next thing you know, 6 hours fly by. So this is the current look. And, there's no serious weather. There's really no risks as far as like tornadoes goes. Most of it's Outer Banks now. It's spinning right off the south side of Wilmington right now. So the Outer Banks are getting some rain, a little bit up into Virginia. This is the current live radar, and this is the track. Right now, currently, it's 60 mile an hour. So there'll be some windy conditions, definitely coming in. Just like we talk about, you get these spiraling winds rolling in. So I guarantee the Outer Banks right now are feeling it. Luckily, it's nothing too strong. I hope it's not anything too bad. I don't think it is. Just normal stuff. We were a little more worried if this thing came out over the water, and then we were thinking, but look at this little track it took. It actually bounced north. That was look at this. I mean, that was really helped, because if it continued that track, would have been a lot worse. But we had tornado warnings. I saw Charleston had one of their record water levels I saw last night. So everything played out like it was, forecast. At least it's long gone. But here's your track, by the way. Look at these little wiggles and wobbles, man, right? But look at this. This is what you got to think here. So the stronger storms get, they wiggle, they wobble. But ultimately, look, it went a little, people panicked here when it was by Tampa. Oh, my God, it's going to go west. But, oh, my God, it's going to go east. Oh, my God, it's going to go west. But in reality, it kind of went the way it was always going to go. Those are those wiggles and the wobbles. Stronger systems they kind of do that. But ultimately, the steering pattern of the upper level winds is what drives tropical systems. And it indeed just followed that same general motion that it kind of did all along. I think the one thing that, the one potential that I did bring up a lot, I will admit, any turn, to the east could have been big for Tampa, where I live, but it was going at a pretty fast forward speed there for a while, and the turn came, it just came late. I mean, if you think, look at that distance, Fort Myers to Tampa. I mean, come on, the same. Ian turned a little earlier and it turned a little later. I mean, so it's so close to us here where I live. But trust me, it definitely affected a lot of folks, and it did not matter. Maybe you didn't get the wind, but there's a lot of flooding. A lot of coastal folks, unfortunately, got flooded. So terrible. Anyway, so our daily brew, we're going to talk weather now. Of course, ABC ran a couple commercials. A lot of people shared it. It was about getting your storm essentials. They also did this little, I thought it was pretty entertaining little segment here. If you want to check it out, it's on top of their website, ABC Fine Wine and Spirits. But they did my top picks. It's funny. The funniest one was Julie's pre-mixed margarita. She's like, she likes pre-mixed margaritas because Mike makes them a little too strong. So ABC used that quote, and they said, Julie's wife prefers pre-mixed margaritas because sometimes makes them a little strong. So they do a lot for me, man. I really appreciate it. We have a lot of local Floridians that support them because of our page. So that's how partnerships work. They believe in what I do. They support me and my family, and that means a lot. Then I have one Yahoo that says, "Why do you advertise?" I'm like, "Well, because everybody's got to pay bills. I mean, I chose to make this my summer job. Somebody's got to do it." So, anyway, this is a current look at the tropics. By the way, we got a lot of new Brew Crew members this weekend. It's unfortunate it takes a big storm for people to realize, there's subscriber options, and that's cool. We don't expect you to be a subscriber in Thanksgiving time when there's no weather, but Shelly works hard getting those emails out. Be patient. It's impossible during a storm to do it all, but we're just one big happy family. We fight a lot. And then my boy Dale. I want to say hi to some people now. Somebody saw the commercial. That's great. Who saw the commercial? Berenda. Cool. My buddy Dale Kindberg was up there chasing. He was actually the big dog. He was on CNN or Fox. They interviewed Dale. Dale, I didn't see the interview. I saw your pictures. Dale mad at me because I didn't get his call and he needed duct tape. Something flew through his window. Dale, you got to bring duct tape with you, man. Duct tape, shoe goo, tie straps, man. 3 essentials of storm station chasing. And I found out the key to film videos is an umbrella. I use an umbrella to hide the rain under my camera now. It's so funny. I did not see the meme, Drina. I want to see it, though. Dale's not mad. I know you're not mad. You're a cool dude. We had a good chase. It was exciting. I will tell you, I was a little nervous. We did not get any water, Stacy. No. I'm wearing a hat because I can't comb my hair. I got to take a shower, and I ran out of time today, so I grabbed the closest hat that I had beside me. What's up, Chris Hargis? Hargis sent me some videos from our area. Tarpon Springs really got it. If you were listening to me a lot, I was concerned about the Anclote River because they were predicting 9 foot of surge, and I was like, I can't imagine the Anclote River in Tarpon Springs sponge docks. I really wanted to be here, but I covered Ada, and being in that wind was unbelievable. In fact, if you've seen the video, we got a lot of video, and it was intense. I will say though, we left Steenhatchee and decided to go around that beach. Was it Keaton Beach or something? There was a lot of trees starting to fall, and I was like, here we go again. And I was having Phil count down the miles. I'm like, come on, 8, 7. I think we were streaming live then too. Dodging power lines, dodging trees. One time a tree fell like right on us almost. I went under it. I don't know why I do it. They asked me a great, hey, Yohel, what's up, buddy? What's up, Michael Holloway? TikTok. Eric, hey, it's not even September yet. Eric says, how are we predicting storms? Well, the peak of season is not even here yet. So, cool. Terry Warrior Cap 5 shirt. That's awesome. Bob, big shout out track. Yeah. I love NHC, man. NHC's tracks are always spot on. That cone was perfection. Their track record with the cone is phenomenal. I will tell you this, though, about that cone. And I heard it from, I swear, probably 4 or 5 people told me the same thing up there. That when the cone shifted, they just assumed that the storm was going somewhere else. Not realizing the effects are going to be wide-reaching. That is the only issue. The cone, I believe, needs to be there, but some sort of a shaded color. I still think would be phenomenal. You imagine if there was like a red shade, an orange shade, and then a yellow shade, and then a green shade, kind of like the SPC colors, to show potential impacts. So some storms are bigger than others, right? Ian was huge, Charlie was little. If you had the cone could have been the exact same for Charlie, and it could have been the exact same for Ian. So people might think, oh, it was the same. If that red area was more shaded to orange, shaded to yellow, wider and inland, I think maybe people might realize, because if that red and that shade, it showed the impacts of surge and wind and rain into the peninsula, it would have, it just makes things a little more realistic. So I think the NHC cone's phenomenal. I just still think it needs to be tweaked because the general, two things. Do people understand it or they don't understand it? Well, if you had to pick the two, people don't understand it. A lot of people don't understand it. Maybe 75% assume differently than the 25%. So anyway, all right, so let's talk about the tropics. So looks pretty bad, right? But it's not. Nothing. This is old Gert. This has been the story of the season. Old Emily didn't make it, then she gets a circle. Well, this is old Gert, so we're not going to talk about Gert. Jose, I don't know where the hell he came from. Jose Cuervo's out of here. Jose, there you go. Jose, can you see Jose tomorrow? You won't. Franklin's out of here. This thing's out of here. Everything's out of here. The only really thing to watch is going to be Idalia. Idalia is actually going to impact the Bermuda this weekend, and it's not looping back to Florida. That was the number one video trending on TikTok, was somebody saying that Idalia was going to hit Florida again. So I made one last night to tell people no. But it might actually kind of get close up here, believe it or not. So Bermuda, let's talk about that. Let's look at the latest spaghetti models on Tropical Tidbits. So Idalia definitely looks like it's going to impact Bermuda this weekend. Tropical storm, but could bring some rain, and I'm sure it's beneficial. Some of the models, believe it or not, kind of coming close to the New England area. Believe it or not. As a matter of fact, let's look at the latest European model, Tropical Tidbits. You can kind of see that. It's kind of crazy. But here you go. Here it is. This little blob right here. It's going to get close to Bermuda this weekend. Here's Saturday. Here's Sunday. Now it's weak. 1,000 millibar. But watch. It stops because it's 60. Look. Ah! Don't look at this right now. Don't focus. We're not talking about that right now. So don't look there. Take your hand and cover that part of the screen. But the interesting thing is this time next week, Idalia could get a little energy and maybe bring some action to the northeast. Maybe. The fact that I'm showing you this is because the spaghetti models are actually kind of showing you the same thing. Kind of point in that direction. So whether or not it actually hits the coast or not, we'll see. Other models showing this scenario, GFS or CMC kind of stalls it and then it dissipates. But there's nothing in the Gulf, nothing indicating the Gulf right now. People were saying, I guess there was a news station saying that there was going to be some juice coming up, but I haven't seen that enough to even look twice. There you go. So, New England, East, I almost said ECE. Yeah, that's how tired I am. Idalia, possibly New England. But most of the steering currents are just showing it's stalling. So, I did put the estimated radar. Let's talk about the rest of the day for our Carolina friends. It's, it's a tropical storm. I mean, it's hopefully it's not anything to worry about. But here's a radar. Let's take a look at the current 12Z radar. Just kind of show you the rains are going away. A couple of my local meteorologist friends in that neck of the woods, Ed Petrowski and Shay Gibson, did a really good job up that way. You know, the best advice, I asked Kevin Guthrie, the best advice when a storm's approaching is, you know, your local meteorologists usually are your best, and they are. They know your market. They know your locations. They know your roads that flood. They know things I never know. You know, I'm learning, but they're the ones. They're the ones that know things. And I know our local Mets here, you know, Dennis and Paul Delgado, and they did amazing. Bay News 9, you know, Deskins, and Jeff, and, you know, Lee Spann. I met all of them. They're all friends of mine. They all did a really good job here in our Tampa Bay area. But let's look at the Carolinas, see what's left of Idalia. It just looks like rain the rest of the day. They're not showing hardly any chance of storms as far as anything severe. I mean, it's lingering, but it's going to spin on out of here. The rain, you know, the winds are going to shift up from the north. Early afternoon by this evening. This is 5 o'clock. By sundown, Idalia's gone. Today's Thursday. Yep. So that's been the theme. We've already, you know, we've been seeing Friday long gone. And there she goes. I think it's a she. I don't know. Jose. Yeah, they usually alternate. But there you go. Maybe some heavy rain incoming another hour or two, but that's about it. Hopefully it wasn't too bad. I know along the coast everybody got some sort of flooding, and the moon is there a lot. The moon. Tropical systems during full moons. Mark that down. Wink has great weather, people. Yes. Hey, everybody's asking about our neighborhood. We did great. We lost one tree limb. Invest 94 is nothing to worry about. But I saw people talking about it. I know one thing I've learned over the years. People like to jump to the next thing. And that's okay. Can't hide emotions, that's for sure. Here's the latest on Invest 94, which is, I don't even have it up here. Yeah, I do. There it is. Invest 94. Guess what? Bermuda, blah, blah. It's going to stay. Hey, look at Azores. Hey. Could be one little guy going to the Azores. But so nothing out there other than Idalia to worry about. Matthew said, amazed by the power we had here by St. Simon's. Many boats damaged and sunk. Wow, that's not good news at all. Doug says, Outer Banks major road overwash. I believe it. I'm telling you. I couldn't believe to see Howard Franklin down here and how bad it was and stuff. I mean, think about it. Storm was 100 miles off our coast, man, and everybody was like, hey, ain't gonna be nothing. Met a lot of a couple highway patrolmen. It was cool. I wish I won't say their names, but one was a big fan. And the funny thing is, we left the hotel at 3 a.m. Phil went with me, and there was one car on the highway. We're on US 19 headed towards Perry. Lance, hey, thanks, buddy. $9.99. You the man. Yeah, I did sound anxious. Trust me. Yeah, I had to run over a tree one time. I didn't have enough time to stop. I think it crashed right in front of us. I'm like, oh crap. Weirdest thing was ducking for power lines. I did that a few times. I mean, I don't know what it is. I duck twice. Like I was on the phone with my dad, if anybody saw it, talking to Dad, and there was a power line on the road. I saw it, like I thought we were going to hit the power line, and I ducked in the truck like it was going to make a difference. I mean, I literally ducked. I felt so silly. I'm like it's going to do anything. I'm like, ah! It's a human reaction, right? To duck, and I ducked. I ducked for the power line. Like it was going to do anything. Kiki, what's up? Good morning. Andrea Moldovan, thank you. A lot of power outages up there, I guarantee it. So the Furman team's heading out to help a lot of folks. They're fast team, Furman Power Equipment. I might hang out with them. I don't know what we're doing Labor Day weekend, but I'm going to plan on going back. Golf temps, great. Doug Federman, yes, a little bit. Tropicals, we won't have an updated satellite map anytime, maybe a couple of days, but it'll be fascinating to see the track. You'll see one of the dogs is snoring. It sounds like a whistle. It'll be interesting to see the cool down a little bit on sea surface temperature. The thing about this storm, 100%, is it was moving so fast that it won't make a difference because the upwelling that it caused, it will be insignificant. There's so much warm water underneath the surface, and that'll pull right back up. So I remember Dorian when it sat over the top of the Bahamas. That was true cooling down of the ocean because it pulled so much heat content out of the ocean. But this one was moving so fast that. And props to the Euro. The Euro was the last. See, here's the deal with the Euro. The Euro is always underestimating pressure, but the Euro was the first one to start picking up on a little bit of weakening before landfall. So Idalia did go through an eye wall replacement as soon as it was hitting the coast of Florida. So that kind of made things weird. Like it weakened it a little bit, but it also brought like two different areas of. I noticed it obviously where I was at Perry, serious damage. Almost every tree's damaged somehow, down or not. But and we did see a lot of roofs gone, a lot of mobile homes, crushed. It was bad. There was a lot. I think we had a little mini tornado that came by when that palm tree ripped. It showed up on radar scope. But what we saw, totally showing the eye wall replacement. Heavy winds in Perry. When we headed back southeast, there was a little break of nothing, and then when we got down to Cedar Key, that area I started seeing a lot more trees down. So that I think the second eye wall started opening up. A little more winds were pushing to the east side of the storm. So there was like a period of heavy damage, a little break, then more damage. So definitely had a little break in damages there as it kind of changed the dynamics a little bit. So this is 94, not doing anything. Oh, look at that, that's terrible drawing. All right, let's talk about what's coming. So anyway, the fast team's out there. I know Tammy's on the ground. Lodging Solutions is setting up a base camp. I saw a post from Frank at Coastal Claims. They're ready to go. Listen, Done Right Roofing, a big supporter of ours here in the area, Pinellas County, Pasco, Hillsborough. Anybody needs any help from them, definitely, reach out. Believe it or not, Gulf Coast State College is a supporter of ours, and they have a tie-down program in the Panhandle for the whole state. So check that out if you got a trailer. I was talking a lot to John in the Apalachicola area, and there was a lot of panic up there that the storm was turning west. It didn't, but what's amazing about our little family of supporters, like I said, they're all on the ground. Frank's taking claims. If you need any help, Lodging Solutions has got a base camp setting up there, helping out the linemen so they have a place to sleep and eat and shower. Tammy's on the ground doing damage assessment, and their linemen are on the ground. First one's basically first responders in the power industry. She's on the ground. She flew into St. Pete. Now they're on their way there. Like I said, and Furman's on their way there with their fast support team with people with generators setting up at Lowe's. They're going to be announcing that soon. So it's pretty cool to see the support there, that our supporters do for sure. So, all right, so let's talk about the future tropics. And I'll be curious too. We talked a lot about where was that thing I was going to show you too? Oh, there was a new graphic that didn't come up too, but anyway, it didn't come up. I didn't get to meet Jim, by the way, and Reed. It kind of bummed me out. Reed was on, so we were on CNN last night with Aaron Burnett, and Reed was on right in front of me. It was really kind of humbling to be up there with Reed Timmer, but I appreciate News Nation and CNN for having me do interviews during the storm. It was pretty cool. I appreciate it. So definitely. And I'll be touring the area. I think I'm going to go over, check out. I know Dex Docks does a lot of seawalls around our area. They did an amazing job during Ian. Hopefully, we didn't get any seawall damages locally with the storm. I didn't notice a lot. There's not a lot of seawalls up there in the Big Bend area. There's not a lot of homes on the water. So, all right, let's see here. Is there any maps here or down here I want to show you showing tropics? Let's first look at the global tropics hazards map. I haven't looked at it in a while. Ooh, they've updated it. So there's oh man, there's colors here. All right, so they did update this. All right, this is what we're going to talk about. That big old red blob right there. Next week. Long way away, but there is and they always mark that as a maybe. But this red is 40% chances. So that's what I was curious if they showed that or not. Had a bunch of people texted me. If we go to Africa right now, let's go to cyclone weather. There is a waves over there in Africa they're setting up. Some people have been showing it. It's not over water yet, but soon to be. I don't even know if you can see it yet or not. I haven't even looked. No. Future it is. I saw Adrian, one of the Mets I follow, was sharing it. So it's not really even showing up yet on there. But let's basically show you the number one map that I always start out with the tropics. Let's look at the long range ensemble map here. And you'll see middle Atlantic starting to pick up, possibility of something. So let's go to 10 day. It'll default to 10 days like right away. Boom, there you go. So 10 days right there. Look, something's gonna pop. This is 94 right there. This is not 94 we're watching. That's 94. This is something new. So I put it in the Brew Crew last night. So if you're over there in the Brew Crew, I posted it. Got a tight concentration of models here. GFS is showing it. It's September. This is September 10th. So if Mother Nature follows Mother Nature's history, then we might have something to watch. Peak season right there. Too far away to know for certain, but there is modeling that suggests that we could see something brewing there again, and the end point would be September 10th. That's 10 days from now. So you'll see. Let's see. So let's go out September 3rd. A few days from now, you start to see signs of a wave coming off, and you just focus right here. 7 days from now. Here's 5 days from now. Here's 7 days from now. This is what I usually like to show, where it's going to be next week at this time. So next week, Thursday, we can see a wave somewhere here in the middle. Historically, place to watch. And, a lot of starting to do a recurve. But as we've learned in the tropics, we never, ever, 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 ever assume anything. We learned that with Florence. So we'll keep an eye on that. That's kind of all I want to show on that. Let's look at the GFS ensembles. The ensembles aren't too bad. Then we'll look at the operational run. Sarah's home sick from school. Come here, baby. Come on, go say hi to everybody. Come here. So Emily got sick first week of school. How many of y'all remember growing up in school, in the first week of school, everybody gets sick, right? And now Sarah's not feeling good. You not feeling good? She's not feeling good. But shut up. Teacher said that she didn't do her work today and that she wasn't feeling good, right? You okay? Hey, it's okay. Oh, no, now she's going to cry on me. It's okay. It's okay. Hey. It's okay. It's okay. Huh?
She cried at school.
It's okay. Everybody gets sick. Okay? It's okay. You're not in trouble. Daddy used to get sick all the time. Okay? You want to watch the TikTok? You want to sleep? It's okay. Give me a kiss. Want to say hi to everybody? It's okay, baby. Don't worry, okay?
You're not in trouble.
Okay. Didn't plan on that to happen. Sorry. Oh, poor girl. Maybe I'll take a nap with her. What the hell is this? Anyway. Sorry. Didn't mean to bring drama to the chat.
Shelly says no drama.
Drama. The dogs are now running over there. What's going on? What's Sarah doing home? All right. Good therapy is dads take naps with daughters that are sick. I like that idea. I did a lot of driving this week. Hey, the old storm chaser. Let me tell you. Not 9 hurricanes. Let's see. I've been in 3 major hurricanes with the truck now. Zeta, Ian, Ida. No, 4. This is the 4th major hurricane. Man, I was wrong. I told all the news channels I've been in 3 hurricanes. 4 major hurricanes I've been in with my truck now. This is the 4th major hurricane my truck has been in. 4 major hurricanes. And like I said, this to me was the most powerful winds for what I've faced as far as the burst. Like bam. Josh Morganman said the same thing. I did hear him say that. So, all right. So let's see what the GFS ensembles are saying. And there they are. 10 days. September 10th. Not a lot of them, but enough to watch. So anyway, a lot of Mets are talking about it. Confidence is brewing that sometime around here on the 10th, we could have something. That's supposed to be 10th, but it's not. So that's just something to watch, you know. You can see it start to brew. A lot of them are showing a little bit of curve. 10 days out. So here's 10 days out on the GFS, this basic clump of storms. Each one of these is an ensemble member. The GFS has 31, so there's, at least half maybe, 31. And then the Euro has 51. And here's the SpaghettiOs on the 10th right there. So, is it too soon to talk? Mark Holmes, how do I rate the GFS so far? Well, I give it a 2 out of 10. Zero out of 10, Jennifer says. So, anyway, what else is going on we can talk about? So, yeah, that's about it. It's been about an hour. I can't believe it. Peak season, September 10th. I'll wait till 12Z and I'll see what they show, and so I'll pull it. That's just historically what we got to watch. And what I've seen over the years, too, this is what's going to happen. So, obviously, right now, there's all kinds of stuff going on in the Atlantic, right? This is going that way. Jose's going that way. Franklin's going that way. Idalia is going to go that way. So whatever happens, right now the Atlantic is not very, Bermuda High is pretty much non-existent. But usually what I see is once all this stuff disappears, then the high might get a chance to build back in temporarily, and then that would allow anything to chug a little more west. So the timing of it is all this is going to get out of here. The Atlantic right now doesn't have much steering currents to allow anything to go west, but once these things get out of here, high pressures usually build back in and allow something to sneak in, and that's usually historically what happens. You can go to Tropical Tidbits here and we'll see the 500 millibar height. So right now, September 1st, you can see what I'm talking about. All kinds of low pressures out here. No true defined high pressure area the 1st of September. But then we go a little deeper into and this kind of shows it. September 8th. So whatever this is, it gets out of here. High pressure starts to connect the dots, builds back in, and shows whatever here is more west. And ideally, it could leave a little opening for this thing to turn. So, we might be talking about this already, that if you want whatever here to turn, we need ideally to hang around a little bit, and that'll keep the high weak here and keep that to go maybe there. But if that high builds back in, this is what would happen. If the ideally pulls out, this has a temporary up, high builds back in, and then maybe it'll curve a little longer. So, little, definitely can see that as being something to watch long range. And that is why the non-meteorologist, hyper social dude says maybe that's something to watch. Louis Mad. He just sat down. He's like, damn it, Julie's home. Now she's gone again. Next name is Cadia. Oh, Sheila's putting out the list. I have butchered more names. This is how bad. So my CNN interview last night, I'm getting fancy. I'm proud. I got a tripod. Because the News Nation, I'm holding the phone, and she's like, "You're gonna hold the phone for 20 minutes?" And I'm like, "I can do it." Well, at the end, I'm doing this. I'm holding up my elbow, and I'm like, "Oh!" I felt like I was in Survivor. I'm like, "God, go to commercial." So I put a tripod up yesterday in the park, and I'm like, working on my background and stuff, and I kept messing up Steinhatchee. It's Steinhatchee. I apologize. And I kept going to Phil's. It's Stein. I couldn't remember the dang names, man. Every hurricane has taught me one thing. I've learned new areas, and I really wasn't up with the Nature Coast. Now I'm like a veteran of the nature. I know everything about you up there. Everything. I know it all. I drove on 19 a million times in my life, not knowing. It's like the flyover states of Florida. If you know the Jason Aldean song, the flyover states out west, the Nature Coast Big Bend is like the flyover area of Florida. Nobody pays attention to that area. So I made me a piece of paper last night. Do I have it in my pocket? No. I put it right down there. Steinhatchee, Cedar Key, Yankeetown, Crystal River, Homosassa, because I wanted to talk about each one if I had time. So I know you. I know where you live. I know all about you. Ooh. The flyover. That'd be a funny shirt if somebody lived there. We're the flyover states of Florida. So Cadia. Is it Cadia or Katie? How do they pronounce the next storm? Next storm name, as Shelley mentions, is Cadia. If you want to know how to pronounce Cadia, I knew I'd butcher Edelia. I think I mess it up every time. So here, this is how the next one goes. It's Ka-tia. That's how I look at it. K-A-H, right? Ka. Is that how you say? Any English teachers out there? K-A-H. Is it Ka? Ka? And then it says T-ya. So it's Kadia. Hurricane Kadia. It says K-A-H. Ka. K-A-H is Ka. Ka. And then it says T-Y-A-H. So it's Ka-tia. Ka-tia. The next name is Ka-tia. Ka-tia. Hey, we still got some rain to worry about. Seriously, though. Why do they still have this up? Flash flooding possible. I think this is an old product. But anyway. No. Hey, heavy rains. Potential though, weird. Well, I don't know. 2 to 4 inches, and that's weird. But anyway, maybe because it comes down hard. But pretty much the heavy rain's about done. This is rainfall totals Thursday 8 a.m. to Friday 8 a.m. Not showing much other than, 1 to 2 in the light green, 2 to 4 in dark green, which is Outer Banks pretty much. A little bit of Eastern Carolina. Flash flooding potential mainly comes down fast. Remember, we don't have any color in the SPC map per se. Just a couple light green areas, which is nothing. Tomorrow, nothing. Sunday or Saturday, nothing. It's quiet. Perfect Labor Day weekend. And the most amazing video or graphic of all is this. Do you remember last week teasing about the weekend? So right now we got a cool front. Here's a cool front. Guess what happens? Another front comes down, pushes our front in, right? Idalia moves out, cold front comes down. Look at that. Look at that. Would you just look at that? Now watch. Watch. Don't go nowhere. Watch. Look what's fixing to happen. You're just not going to believe this. You're just not going to believe this. 60s. This is Saturday night. 60s. Maybe making it to the middle Florida. Now, when I say 60s, 68, 69. But what? And dry air. So if you're a Floridian like me, 69 feels like 40. Because you're thin-blooded. Is that a thing? I'm gonna Google that right now. Is thin-blooded Floridians a thing? Is thin-blooded Floridians a thing? Man, I've missed every letter. I just typed 100 words to type 5. Myth. Myth. This is the Mythbusters. Mythbusters. Floridians have thinner blood. You feel colder longer. Your blood is actually not thinner. Blood thinning is an actual medical condition and refers to low red blood cells in the blood. That didn't tell me anything. Braden Herald has one. Oh, but you gotta pay. What's up with these newspapers? Florida First Coast News. Does living in Florida actually thin your blood? Here we go. Just wait. When you move to Florida, your blood thins out. It might be true. I don't know. Let's see. The Dr. Andrew Dias says I think it's a myth. Your blood doesn't actually get thicker or thinner. Your body just adjusts by, I don't know. There's no evidence. Anyway, all that for nothing. But hey, there's a teeny weeny chance that we might be in the low 70s here, and that will feel like 40. That's Saturday night. Humidity, let's take a look at that. Just for fun. Let's go to Southeast Saturday night. Saturday night's all right for low humidity. There, let's see, 31st, there we go. It's going to be a wet, dry wood. Wow, that's not exciting. So it's going to be 71. It feels like 90. Oh, I thought we'd see a little more than that, but we're not. Oh well, that was a big bust. Oh well, let's see. Let's take a look at I thought we'd see a little more than that, but I guess not. No, it's a wet 70. My wood might not burn. It might be humidity might not allow a fire pit. You want to see dry air. I jumped it on that one. I assumed we were going to have dry air, but we're not. So we're going to have 71 in Tampa that feels like 98. Sorry. All right, it's cool. All right, well, 100% we're not live on Monday, Shelly. We'll see about tomorrow. If the traffics look active, but we'll see. 100% not Monday. Kids are out of school. We got to do something fun. I've been taking a little too much time off the last week and a half, so we got to do something fun because I feel bad. And then I got home last night and I turned around and had to go to the park to do my CNN interview. They're like, "Where you going, Dad?" Sorry. So I promised. Oh well, 99%. We can make it short, like 10 minutes. All right, so hey, we'll see how it goes. Not a lot of weather to talk about today. Carolina's rains, yeah, it's going to get rolling out of here. Weekend, not a lot cooking. Kind of boring weather, nothing to talk about. So clean up for our friends up north. It's going to be a long recovery for Floridians. They got a lot of work to do with power. Luckily, it wasn't as bad as they thought because it was a lot of unpopulated areas. Still 140,000 without power. Georgia was 99,000 without power. You can go to the Furman Power Equipment power outage tracker map here, and you can click on your state, kind of get a sense, obviously, where the issues are at right now. Look at that, almost 100%. I mean, this puts things in perspective. Think about this. Almost 100% of folks without power in those counties up there. Now, obviously, I don't know if it's 100%, but almost 100%. So, again, if this thing would have track shifted a little bit left, a little bit right, it would have been a lot more people without power. But that's still a lot of frustrated people, trust me. 100% power. I've never seen green used before, so that confirms what I saw, man. Trees down everywhere, power lines down everywhere. And the problem with this, it isn't going to be just like, oh, there's only X amount of people with power. It's not like a normal, like, let's say one transformer goes in the middle of Miami, could be 100,000 people, right? This is not the same. This is the whole infrastructure. Lines, poles, trees. I mean, this takes a lot of work. When I was driving on 19 for miles and 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 miles, and every power line was down because of trees. And then every side road we went down, power line. So that it isn't a simple put a new transformer up and we got 100,000 people back without power. These are going to be people that are going to be suffering for weeks or maybe weeks. I don't know. I don't know. So just like I said at the beginning, just because it didn't affect you doesn't mean there isn't somebody up there like going through hell right now. So Jamie, I was in your town. I totally agree. Totally agree. I was in your town and could not believe the damages right there. So I would like to say props to the city of Perry, though. I was offered breakfast, and it was very nice of them to come running out and tell me that. But I was in chase mode. No offense, I wanted to be there, but it was so cool. They were eating breakfast at the city hall and invited me to come over, so it was neat. So all right, been a month or a week or hour, so I am going to finish up a little clips of some videos that I put together. I want to get that done and put out there today, and then I'm going to take a much needed nap, all right? We'll see you. What's up, Miss Greg Montgomery? Buddy. Thanks for all your support, man. I'm going to try to meet up with Jason and the crew wherever they end up, so keep you posted, Furman family. See y'all. Bye.